What was the last thing that you bought online? Did you receive it? Better yet, who was writing down your credit card information while you're making your purchase? I'll bet that you have no idea. Our society has quickly progressed to doing more and more things online. You can do anything from ordering a watch to buying a house, and all you need is a credit card. The problem with doing these things is that people or programs are watching you. They are looking for your social security number, your credit card number, or just an unsuspecting victim who they can sell a faulty product to. As more consumers turn towards purchasing online, internet fraud has also hit an all-time high. The different types of fraud that are out there are skyrocketing every year. There are 5 basic types of fraud: internet auction, non-delivery of merchandise, credit card fraud, investment fraud, and letter scam. These are all things that thousands of people have experienced losses from. You may say that it won't happen to you, until it does. Internet auction fraud is any online bidding taking place for an item. This includes such places as eBay, where you can buy just about anything with just your credit card number. Places like this are very risky for people who don't know what they're getting themselves into. A buyer must understand the lingo of what is being sold and know exactly what they're buying before they make the purchase. Usually people get scammed by being uneducated or getting excited about a product. A seller will list an item with big fancy words, so you get really excited when you see it. You click that little buy now button that is in the middle of the screen, and you rant to your friends while it's in the mail. You should. Besides, you got such a great deal. The item arrives in the mail, and rather than getting that expensive Louis Vuitton purse that you're waiting for, you receive a cheap knockoff that your 10-year-old sister could tell you was a fake. On top of that, the seller has no return address, and the email that you sent, he'll never respond to. What now? So not always are you going to make a purchase and get it and be unhappy with it. Why? Some people never receive their product at all. Non-delivery of merchandise happens quite often, and usually there's no recourse. This type of fraud will usually happen on eBay. Non-delivery of merchandise will usually happen when a buyer decides to deal with someone who does not have very good ratings or doesn't have any at all. This is a huge red flag, and usually it means that either the seller is new or he doesn't sell a very good product. A good example of this happened to a woman named Hope Larson. Hope purchased a $500 camera on eBay. She felt that she got a great deal and was extremely excited. Weeks passed and nothing came in the mail. When she tried to talk to the seller, she never got any contact. The email that she sent was returned closed, and there was 4 other accounts that she could email, and all of those were closed as well. She had no contact with the seller, and all the emails had bounced back. Hope was out $500 and would never hear from the seller again. Do you read every single statement that you get in the mail? Do you know every single transaction that went through on that piece of paper? I hope so. There are so many people that fall victim to credit card fraud, and most of them have no idea. Credit card fraud happens when another unauthorized person takes your credit card or credit card number and makes a purchase. This can happen to anyone who puts their card on the internet, whether it be purchasing something, reserving airline tickets, or just confirming a hotel stay. Know who you're giving your information to before you give it. I've met a few people in my life that wouldn't even read their statement for months at a time. They'd come in and say, "Oh, well, I had a transaction go through that I didn't do 6 months ago." Well, there's only a certain amount of time that you have to actually dispute the transaction, and if you wait, there's no recourse. Does anybody remember Martha Stewart? She was part of insider trading, which is a type of investment fraud. Investment fraud is considered anything that has to do with stocks, and is usually done by a stockbroker or investment representative. When you get into investment fraud, we're talking about a lot of money that's at stake. This type of fraud is actually very clever. The criminal will go online and build up a stock, either through a newsletter or a well-known website or a chat room or blog. The person will talk about how they have a good feeling and how people should invest in the stock because it's going to go up. So everybody invests in the stock, which makes the price rise. The seller, or the scammer, then will take all of his money and he'll sell all the stocks. He'll make out like a bandit while everybody else is waiting to make more money. Of course, once the scammer takes out his stocks, the price is going to go back down and everybody's going to lose out. The Nigerian letter scam is perhaps one of the easiest scams to fall for. This has caused a lot of havoc on the American people who have fallen victims. It is called the Nigerian letter scam because it is based out of Nigeria, and many of the letters written are from people that live in Nigeria. This is one of the trickiest types of scams to unsuspecting victims. This letter can be used in many different ways, but the easiest one occurs when you're trying to purchase something online. So a lot of people buy things from Craigslist, which you can buy anything from. But let's just say I want to buy a puppy. I found this really cute puppy, and I think he'll fit great with my family. So I email the person, and I get really excited. So I go out and buy all the things for the puppy. I get an email back saying that the person is actually stationed in Nigeria for the war, and he'll be overseas for 18 months. He received the puppy as a gift, and he feels bad because he just doesn't have the time for it. So all that you need to do is to send money for his airline ticket, but you don't actually have to pay anything for the dog. The scammer will ask you where you want it sent and what day and time, and then you're supposed to pick it up. Scam? I think so. Another thing that I have to show you is the top 10 Wisconsin complaint categories. This kind of breaks down something that's more at home for us, so we can see in Wisconsin how many people actually fall victim to fraud. Internet auction fraud was the highest with 37.8% of people. The second one was non-delivery of merchandise, and that was 23.7% of people. Computer fraud followed it with 5.2%, credit card fraud at 4.5%, and identity theft at 2.5%. And the Nigerian letter scam is only at 2%, but it's on the rise. And these are all based off of the 2007 fix. Next time that you consider making an online purchase, maybe you will check to see if who you are buying from is a reputable breeder. Internet fraud happens every day, and it can happen to anyone. You may say that it will never happen to you, until you go to open a new account or apply for a loan, and the loan officer tells you that you're rejected due to low credit score. You laugh and say, there's no way, I have perfect credit, I pay all my bills on time, until you think about these different things that can happen to you. It's happening to more and more Americans every day, and as long as we keep progressing with what the internet will do for us, so will the types of internet fraud. Though now we are simply dealing with these 5 basic types of fraud, who knows what the future may hold for us.